Well, Cindy, thank you for asking me to chat with you. I'm a co-founder of CORE, the Community Office of Resource Efficiency, and we've been participating with you and your colleagues, Zach and Ellen Sassano particularly, and the BOCC on updating the energy code and passing new zoning regulations, which you have just recently succeeded in getting through the BOCC. And I think the BOCC has really been very aggressive and very smart. Um, Instituting the growth management plan years ago and all the land use regulations that kind of came along with it completely heightened our lifestyle and our way of proceeding with life. And as a result of that, the resort town has really thrived. And I see sort of 10 key things that happened, and then I'll tell you how I think that shapes what's ahead for us. First is the GMQS, the Growth Management Plan that came about in the 70s by those very revolutionary, futuristic county commissioners, particularly Dwight and Ed, and then Michael. And then the next most brilliant thing was really the rural and remote legislation, because what it did was it protected the edges of the wild habitat from the human habitat and pushed the humans back. And I think that was just utterly brilliant. And then the Historic Preservation HPC, as we call it, commission being codified, and then protecting all those buildings and giving the town the kind of feeling that it has, was really key. And then the Aspen Modern that followed that, almost 25 years later, which protected sort of Bauhaus and postmodern and ski town sort of early development, so that we had a chance to see if we wanted to protect a lot of that too. Then open space protection has been just fundamental, and particularly the Pitkin County Board of Open Space on the public side, and I'd say the Aspen Valley Land Trust probably on the private side, and then RAFTA, and then affordable housing. Those are the things that really defined where we are now over 5 decades. And I mean, for example, you know when you hit Pitkin County, when you pass Holland Hills coming south towards Aspen, it's a whole new world. There's nothing developed on either side of the road that you've had for the last 26 miles. So the feeling that we have created, it didn't happen by accident. It happened by the combination of the spirit of the town and public officials really taking responsibility. 85% of the county is public land, and we have to always keep fighting against any issues, any proposals to put it under state control or even put it under county control. That's how we're going to keep the kind of the ambiance and feeling. So in 20 years, with hope, I think the town should and will look pretty much the same. If it looks the same, I think that would have been a great step forward. Now the pace has to be accelerated. We just can't do it incrementally. I think as we're kind of proceeding now, I think you're moving expeditiously, but I think the pace has to come even faster. Because I mean, there's really 4 things. I mean, there's the epidemic now that's changed the world. But what we've seen by the epidemic is that the whole world has taken action over one point of view about the epidemic. And it's not going to get over sooner. I mean, we may be wearing face masks for the next 5 years. Who the hell knows? But the second thing that is on us is population control. Every day, 225,000 people are born. And we're going to be overwhelmed with a carrying capacity that is beyond what we can deal with. The third thing is climate control. And so everything that we can do that's coupled with what you're doing, what you're doing is tied to climate control, in my view. But 2 of the issues that we've really got to respond to are, first, traffic. And what we've learned during this period is that who are the biggest employers and what draws the most people to town every day? Pitkin County and Aspen are the 2 biggest probably, and the ski company in the winter probably, and then maybe the Aspen Idea Resort, all the visionary and intellectual things that go on in the summer probably the second. Maybe we can keep more people working at home and less of them on the road. The last big issue which is not really being addressed at all is water. Water has to be dealt with. We're the first users of it, so we're sort of innocently thinking that we don't have to really pay attention to it. But we've got to begin to think about that at the same time we're doing all these other things.